If by some chance, some stroke of luck, or some act of God, you have stumbled upon this broadcast, you are listening to the Chivalry Chronicles with your host, DLH, David, and me, Jaime. I hope you're ready, because I know we are. So let's get into it. Hey, we're back. So today, we're going to talk about movies that will make you stop scrolling and actually sit down and watch them. So this is a discussion we had here last couple of days. We thought we'd bring it on the podcast. DLH, any thoughts on that? Any movies you like to stop down and watch?
Anything, stop down, right?
Stop down.
Stop and frisk.
Well,
Stop scrolling.
stop down, when Jaime first sent the topic over, was a phrase that I was not familiar with in like list selection or anything like that.
Must be a Dallas thing.
What's a photography term?
Is it?
Yes, I'm not a photographer, so don't quote me, but it has something to do with the amount of light that you want coming in through the aperture. So it's a stop down so that you can limit that. It is particularly a photography term.
You're getting off topic.
Well, that's why when you sent it, I was like, what the hell does that mean? Is this a cinematography thing that you're asking for?
Let him more light. Let him more light.
That's what it is. I want the most illuminated films that you can think of.
I was trying to enlighten you, and apparently it didn't work.
Yes. Okay. So now that I have what you actually mean for the list, I did come up with some, right? We are... All right, those of you who are listening, we tried to stay within what we were talking about. Films that we thought, we started with like films that we thought every man should watch.
Right.
Then
may get
we
to
know
eventually.
that may get a little
Well,
diverse or...
Yeah, because you almost have to choose genres, and then, it could just be splintered, and there's no way we would agree on the top 5 films that every
Yeah, I
man
don't
should
think
watch. We may, if we put all these parameters on it. Like, what are the 5 movies you want your son to watch, which would be a good topic.
Ooh, that is a good topic.
So be on the lookout for the next podcast on that one.
Or one in the near future.
Yeah. So, but this one, what we thought is, we had this on the list of, as you're scrolling, as you do on a daily basis, I guess you're going through the channels, and then there's a movie on, you're like, hey, I'm going to sit here and watch it. I have my list, and my list is varied and diverse, and I have like 15 movies.
All right.
But
let's start with one. What is number one?
I set some parameters for myself. The movies that I picked do not include any Marvel movies, because there's like 20 some odd movies, and counting, because there are more coming out. This doesn't include series or shows, something like that. It's strictly movies.
Yes.
And then, so I excluded Marvel and Star Wars. Those two genres, or those two sets of movies, or those,
Yeah.
I can watch whenever.
If it's in the Marvel universe or the Star Wars,
I'm gonna watch it.
We're gonna watch it. Yeah. Okay.
So those are
I
out
agree
for
there.
me. Yeah. So I'm more curious on David, because I know David doesn't watch a lot of movies.
Yeah.
So
No,
I
I watch a lot of movies, but my caveat is I only like to watch a movie once. And once I watch that movie, like, I'm done. Now, with that said, I still have a list, because if I was scrolling through, or if I was with somebody that was interested in watching movies, I do have some that I will sit comfortably and watch. Yeah, I mean, I like watching movies. I really do.
Yeah,
It's
but that
just
means you don't watch any regular television then, because
no, I do watch regular television, but once I see, like, let's say the episode, the particular movie, like, okay, I've watched this one.
So
move
then
on
you
to the
just
next
keep
one.
on going?
Yeah, move on to the next.
But you will rewatch a movie if someone you're with hadn't seen it, so you would watch it then.
Yeah.
But
I'm
you
not
by
hardcore.
yourself, when you're sitting at home by yourself, and a movie comes up that you've seen before, you're out.
Probably.
You're gonna keep going.
Yeah.
You're gonna keep
Unless
scrolling.
if there's nothing else on TV, and I don't have something else that will occupy my mind, that's where I guess
All right,
this kind of comes into play.
Then for the
Then
sake
he
of this
goes
topic,
first.
let's pretend we're right there. There's absolutely nothing for you to do, and there's nothing else on, and you have access to nothing.
And you
except
have
I may be the
reruns
I may
of
have
movies.
the most pointed perspective on this because I only like to watch
no,
it.
you
one
have
time.
the worst perspective.
Well,
so
yeah,
that's
I
why-
might. I got some that I know
But
you
now
guys are
you're
going to
now
say.
you're stuck with TV programming that's full of just reruns. All right, but
Yeah.
you scroll through on the TV guide or whatever, and a movie comes up that you have to rewatch. What's number one? What do you
Yes.
My number one, and I have watched it multiple times.
You just said you
As
don't
a
watch
result of that, as a result of my
Okay.
of what I stated,
Okay.
La Bamba.
I love that movie.
I love La Bamba. That is also one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yes.
I love the way they put it together. The emotion. I still feel that Richie, but at the very end, like it still hits just as hard as it did at 1986 when it came out, or 87,
Yes,
something like that.
yeah.
And what I thought was interesting about that movie is like when it came out, like it almost seemed like it, by the end of the year it's on TV. Like it didn't seem like it was lasted that long at the movies. I don't know. I just remember watching it on regular TV, and when it was on, it was a family thing for us. My brothers, my sister would get together and we sit there and watch it. And if I call my brother right now and I say something like, "Hey, cabron, I'm still here and I'm still your brother," and he'll bust out laughing, that type of stuff. I love that movie. I quote that movie all the time, and that is on my list. But my list is like 20 long. So go ahead. I mean, do yours.
Oh, you want me to do all my five?
Yeah, I think so. Or
Okay,
no?
I thought we were going to exchange jabs here.
No, I think we.
Why don't
I
we do
think
that?
we-
Because if I end up saying a bunch that you're going to say, I
Well,
take
then
away
it
from
clears
your
ours.
initial.
No, but that clears my list.
Yeah, but then you're gonna have to-
And I really don't think you would. I really don't think you would.
Well, and then I'm going to throw out a heavy one right now.
All right, go ahead.
Because you're probably going to have this on your list.
Yeah.
we're going to try to keep it light here. This is fun. We don't want
Schindler's
to.
List.
We don't want to. Yeah, we don't want Schindler's List or like freaking. Yeah,
No, I don't want
like the one about Jesus Christ. Come on now.
Oh,
Like,
man. Passion of the Christ.
Passion of the Christ. Like I saw that once, and I used the David rule. I said I'm done.
And
I'm
that's
good.
more
I'm
than
good.
enough.
Yeah, I don't need to see this anymore. But go ahead.
All right, I still don't like that we're doing it this format, but so be it. Next one, Shawshank Redemption.
Okay,
That one's nonstop on. I mean, that's a TBS.
I missed that on my
every
list. That's a good one.
2 days.
Yeah.
It's probably showing. So I have seen that movie. I don't think I saw it in the movie theater whenever it came out because
I didn't.
I just remember I think it was like a TBS or something like that, and TBS had all those commercials in between. So I remember the first time watching it or starting to watch it and kind of scrapping it because there were so many commercials, and then ultimately renting it so that I could watch it without the commercials. And then subsequently, I mean, like I said, every 48 hours it was appearing on TBS. It was like their only programming there for multiple years, it felt like.
Well, that was a good one.
Yep.
What else? Number 3.
All
We're
right.
going to 5, right, for Dave?
Well, as many as you have.
No, because you have 25.
No, as many as he has. Not as many as I have. As many as David has.
First, how many do you have on your list?
I put together a total of 10 because I wanted some room to pivot.
Okay.
All right.
Well, do your top 5.
Do your top 5.
The next one, Coming to America.
That's a good
Murphy.
one. Yeah.
I
that's a
missed
good
that one on my list, too. That's a good one.
I know it's a good one. That's all I do. Nothing but hits.
You're surprising me here. You're surprising me with your list.
No, Coming to America, similar to like La Bamba in the more dramatic sense. In Coming to America, that's my all-time favorite comedy. Even the more recent one that came out, I think
I was
on
gonna ask you
Amazon.
the sequel. Did you like that
Yeah,
one?
obviously it was not nearly as good as the first one, but it did live up to what I was hoping to see from it at
The new one was good.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it was bad at all.
Yeah, it was actually
you're-
really good. It was a lot better than most sequels.
Yeah.
Because it brought everybody back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And,
all those
and
cameos.
the wife looked exactly the same. I was like, wow, it's been like, what, 40 years, 30 some odd years.
Well,
and
she's my queen of B.
Yeah, she still looked good. I was like, wow, this is awesome.
All right, that's 3. Number 4?
All right, let's see. How about Pulp Fiction? Pulp Fiction is really good. A
Great
lot
movie.
of really nice quotes. Samuel L. Jackson, of course.
Great movie.
Kind of made his
hard to go wrong with
signature,
that.
like signature remarks that just carried on from that point forward and get quoted in all types of films. So that's certainly one.
Yeah, Royale with cheese.
And then I'm going to go back to something. I know I watched it many times whenever I was in middle school. It was something that the school kind of, we were a primarily Hispanic school. So every year the movie, they played it. Like it was almost like a mandated, we're going to watch this film together.
I know what you're going to say, but go on.
Yeah. It is Stand and Deliver. Stand and Deliver. And that one was like real inspirational.
Yeah.
Movies during that time, there wasn't many Latino stories out there, and I think that's why like La Bamba.
What are you talking about? You just talked about La Bamba.
Well, no, there wasn't many.
Yeah.
But that a lot of those, of course, gravitate to me because there's people that look like me or that represent some of the mannerisms and such.
I knew you were going to go this route, but I was hoping that you were going to say Blood In, Blood Out, Bound by Honor.
No.
Those are great too.
I do like Blood In, Blood Out. But
that's never on. That's never on. It just came on Hulu, so everyone that hasn't watched it, it is on Hulu.
It is a really good movie though.
And before that, it was on YouTube. Like you could go find a very good, high quality version of that movie because that's what I did. I had like DVDs of it, and they don't have DVD players anymore. So, but it was on YouTube. But finally, I think in the past 3 or 4 months, they added it to Hulu.
Yeah,
go watch it.
It's a good movie.
What was that? 4?
That was 4.
Was that my 4th? All right.
You don't have them numbered?
No, I don't have them numbered.
We just count.
Now, Lord of the Rings, Part 3, Return of the King.
Yeah, you know what? That might have to. Oh, you don't like the Lord of the Rings?
Not as a rewatch. It's fucking too long.
Yeah, it is too long because
only the third one, Return of the King.
Yeah, Return of the King. Now, it
I'm
is
surprised
long,
you watched that.
and I did like it. I typically don't I do like watching them, but I don't gravitate to them as much whenever it's like very fictional, very like.
Yeah, and that's all fiction.
Yeah. That's
I like that about it, though.
Most
I know,
people,
but David was very does it have dragons? I'm out.
Yeah.
Does it have magic? I'm out.
Real life drama.
Yeah, that's what I like. Things that are close to reality. That's probably like one of my exceptions to that.
Opposite when it comes to.
See, I like reality, and this movie does go long because I put this one on my list, and I went ahead and set it as my 5th because one of the ones that was weighing in my mind was The Godfather. That one's really good, but
it's rarely on.
Are you going?
Rarely on.
Yeah, and are you going to sit through the 3.5 hours and watch that? Right,
but I have watched it several times.
Yeah, that one I have seen it come out on TV, and it's basically a 6-hour with the commercials. But they do play it. I mean, it's just not as
it's infrequent. Like
yeah,
you have to go specifically to that channel. Like on occasion you'll see Casablanca, but again with the commercials,
oh my god,
you got to have half a day.
Movie.
Yeah, well, you know that kind of brings up something too. So it's not like it was 10 years ago and before that, where you're scrolling through. People are not necessarily channel surfing in a traditional sense, right? There's live TV. But generally speaking, most people have moved on from traditional cable and are watching these movies more like seeing them on as part of the streaming service, so a Netflix or a Hulu, and they're seeing it, they're scrolling what to watch, and then they say, "Oh, I feel like watching whatever that movie is."
No, I'll do that if I'm scrolling through and I find a movie, and then it usually takes about 2 commercials for me to get super frustrated, and then I'll go find that movie and start it at that point and keep watching it.
Oh yeah,
because
But I will go to either like Hulu or Netflix. The movie, if I scroll through the entire TV guide and there's absolutely nothing on that I want to see, then I'll go and then start to surf through those other lists just to see what I can find. But most of my top 5, I think most of my top 5 are usually movies that you can find replayed on television, right? So I'll go next since Jaime has the longest list.
I do, but go ahead.
We're gonna stick.
No,
with 5.
but he's taken a bunch of them off, so we're good.
All right, so
proceed.
You got your 5, right? For me, number 1, and this is in any capacity, whether you purposefully go watch it or it happens to come on TV, which sometimes it does. TNT, I guess it would be Tombstone.
Oh,
great movie.
Tombstone is my
love that movie.
Is my number 1. I will stop whatever I'm doing to go watch Tombstone.
I'll watch it over and over.
Yeah. All right. So number 2, Any Given Sunday.
That's a good movie.
That one often comes on football season, right?
Inches are all around.
Like that one. But that one, the intensity, I really like that one. That's probably about
Do you think Al Pacino overacts in a bunch of his movies? He definitely overacts in that one.
He does.
He overacts in Heat. There's
he's gunning for the Grammy.
He does it every time. Like, just if you watch that movie, just watch that and then tell me what you think.
No,
next time you rewatch it.
We're talking about Any Given Sunday, right?
Yeah, no, he overacts.
So
in that
in my view, if we're
I love Al Pacino.
and
by
this
the way,
may be hashtag unpopular opinion, right?
Yeah.
but when it comes to Al Pacino, I love Al Pacino.
He's great.
His history of movies, right? All of that stuff. I honestly believe in this that this is the movie where he started. I don't want to say doing it for the paycheck.
Oh
no, I think it was Scent of a Woman. I think he went just wide, like everything was like overdone, and I think he carried that character on for in Heat, he was like that. She's got a great ass, He's just
that's how he. That's how he acts in everything except Scarface, probably, right?
Right.
But if you consider that he was trying to get that into every character he played, because that's Al Pacino, but there was something different about this character that made it seem like he was okay. I'm Al Pacino. I don't have nothing left.
I don't have to act.
None of y'all.
Yeah.
I don't need to act. I'm just going to come on as Al Pacino, and I'm going to say your lines, right?
Yeah.
And that was enough. But I don't know. Maybe the director was kind of like, give me more Al Pacino.
No, I don't think he did. No, I think that's him.
It could be. But overall, I think the movie itself is intense, but fictitious enough, I guess that.
By the way, they played the Knights, and that was in Dallas at Texas Stadium.
Right, that's right. So. Yeah, which was,
so
great. Okay. Moving on.
A little
to
trivia
3.
for you.
Okay, so when I move on to number 3, this is where I start cheating a little bit.
Define that. What do you mean?
So this one, it's a series. That's my cheat.
Okay.
It's not just a single movie, right? But if I am sitting, let's say, I don't know, a Saturday or whatever, when it comes on, Saturday or Sunday usually is when I see them, and there's nothing for us to do, one of those few days where you get to sit and do nothing, and Indiana Jones movies will play, and they will actually be on TBS or whatever.
No, they're always on.
And they'll play them back to back to back to back.
I had that on my list of. I had a total of 10.
Yeah,
that was one of them.
So and I guess I put the series because honestly, it doesn't matter which of them it is. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
Indiana Jones. All right, number 4. Not often. I don't think it's played enough as reruns on TV, but pretty much anything that's in the James Bond series.
Okay.
I really don't even care which. I do have favorites. That's a whole separate. If we were going to do, we could do a whole podcast episode on which is the best James Bond.
Okay, yeah, I was about to ask you.
Yeah, we could, but I think they all bring something to the table, from Sean Connery all the way to what was the last one? I just forgot his name.
Oh, the last James Bond?
Yes, the last.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, but Pierce Brosnan was
Brosnan.
really good. They all brought something.
So full disclosure, I've never seen a James Bond movie.
Any of them?
Any of them. I've strayed away from them.
Yeah, I've only seen I think 2 of them.
Yeah, the only thing that has piqued my interest
Connery.
recently is because of all the poker scenes in it. and the chips that we play with are part of an old James Bond movie. And that's the only thing. And
I'm surprised. I'm shocked.
I've talked to so our we used to office in this building, and around the corner was an accountant, and I used to talk to him. Older gentleman, obviously made a ton of money because when we walked around the back to the parking lot, he had 2 cars that were James Bond cars. He has the Aston Martin, got delivered on a trailer, and he said, and he was a big James Bond fan. Like if you're buying cars that are from movies, you know, $80,000 cars, 100,000. So that was him. And the other one was a little red car that was like a 2-seater, that was from a James Bond movie. I don't know which one.
That Roadster.
Yes, the little red one. Yeah. They had a little, And so, he was telling me all about James Bond, and I told him the same thing, and he damn near wanted to smack me. And
now, what's your reason for not wanting?
One, I just never caught on. Right, I never jumped on that bandwagon type thing.
Yeah,
and so I just been like, well, they don't quite interest me that much. I assume that if I watch them, they'll be good enough for me. Like, yeah, watch the rest of them. But it's such a big series that I where do you start? It's like when you're jumping double dutch, where do you go in?
Maybe that's where I fall. Like I did watch 1 or 2, but I don't remember that. I mean,
so you've never seen any
of them,
and you said you've seen 2.
Maybe 2 at most.
Who was Bond?
Sean Connery.
Okay, so they were the older ones, right?
And I just never.
Wow, that's way back.
I never got that
which
into
are
them.
Great. Honestly, though, if you were going to start, I think you would like them.
I think so too.
But if you like, Sean Connery was great, and then you got Roger Moore, right?
Yeah.
Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan, and then Daniel Craig, and all of them were James Bond actors, and they all bring something different to the character. I won't get into like ranking them or anything, but because they all bring something different. But every single one of those movies I liked, and I've seen every single one of them multiple times.
Wow. So the ones that I piqued my interest, like I said, is that Daniel Craig has one Casino Royale, I guess, where they have that big poker scene at the end.
Yeah.
And the only reason I kind of watched those scenes is because I guess about 4 years ago, I just started getting into poker chips, and it was like poker, and then it was specifically poker chips from movies, which is James Bond, Molly's Game, Rounders, just different actual chips that you could buy. But that scene, I was like, that's cool, and it has Eva Green in it. She's, I guess, the Bond girl in that one. So that's the one that I would probably watch first.
Eva Green is in that one. Yeah. As Vesper, and then Mads Mikkelsen, who was awesome.
Yeah. But that's on my list. I have a list of movies to watch. I think I was telling DLH that I hadn't seen Top Gun, and I can give you my reasons why.
The old one or the new one? Or?
Neither. When the new one came out, so I was telling DLH, like, I was sitting across from a client, and he was hyped up about it. Now, this dude is Marine, kind of a big dude, like, works out all the time, and so I found it kind of funny that he was like all hype about Top Gun.
So if you don't watch it, he's coming to whoop that.
So because I kind of made fun of him, but because in my mind I was telling DLH, like, when growing up, I kind of associated Top Gun with like kind of a rom-com. So I was like, I'm not cool. Like, I'm not gonna watch that.
Top Gun, right?
Yeah, I've seen both.
But when he was like really hype about it, I was like, are you serious? I mean, Top Gun, like, he's like, yeah, man, it's so great, and I was like, okay, I need to readjust my my settings on that. And so my wife was like, the new Top Gun's coming out. We should watch the old one. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go in watching it with a clear mind, right? Yeah. Not, you kind of know about it because it's so old. Like, so I watched it and I was like, oh, it's cool. Then I watched the new one. I was like, it's okay. And then I just set it on the shelf. Like, I'm probably not ever gonna watch that again. I didn't.
But for everybody listening, Top Gun is definitely not a rom-com.
Apparently. But it kind of is. It kind of is.
No, it's not. It is not in any way, shape, or form a rom-com.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Go ahead.
I get to number 5. and it's another series.
Ah,
But that's because I'll watch any of them
That's
interchangeably,
cheating.
right? It is kind of cheating, but I will watch any of them interchangeably. And I do know that these are off and on because I was just watching two. I watched two of them yesterday, part of them.
Okay.
But Die Hard.
okay.
Yeah,
I
those are fun.
haven't
movies.
rewatched them, but I remember watching them.
And those always come out Christmas time. That's whenever they start.
Yeah, but even
repopulating.
right now, there was yesterday. I caught when I saw it on. It was Die Hard with a Vengeance, and then Live Free, or Die Hard, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was watching those, and and I will stop what I'm doing. I was watching those, of course, until duty calls somewhere,
Yeah.
or whatever it is. But all right, so those are my top 5. Bruce Willis is awesome. I'll just say that.
Well, they might might start coming back out because he's sick and. Did he already pass away?
No, he did
No,
not.
he's okay. So
he can't act anymore.
I know.
But he has not passed.
I know they did a roast a couple of years ago, Comedy Central, which was really good. And man, when you see him now, he's like his health is gone.
Yeah, it's on decline. But I mean, Bruce Willis is somebody that I love. Damn near every movie he's made.
He's done a bunch of great movies.
He would be hard pressed to find a movie that he's in that I don't like. And I'm talking about even the one, oh man, what was the one he did with Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn?
Oh yeah, wives, Stepwives Club or
No. There's one where it's like they have some magic formula that makes them live forever.
yeah, and they have she has a hole through
She has
her
a hole
stomach.
in
Yeah,
her torso. Yes, that one. But that name of that movie is escaping me. But even that one, I like them all.
All right, David, you wanna come in with another one?
No,
Wait,
actually,
it's your turn.
let's
Top
why are you holding
Because
out?
because
You're
I
trying
have
to one
a,
up us.
no,
You're trying to
just
do.
go
No,
5.
I'm not.
Just go your top.
Yeah,
5.
do your 5, and then we'll
I have
throw in some
20.
time. We got.
But go top 5.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
after that,
I can't do.
Well,
I can't do
you're
top
gonna have
five.
to pick a random 5 then.
Okay, so let's do a random 5.
Or tell us what's in your top 5 that was already covered and why you're skipping it. How about that?
Tombstone covered. Great
Covered.
movie, love it. You said La Bamba, love that movie.
That was in your top 5?
No, that was probably like. So I broke them up by genres, like because to me like movies with Hispanic characters like La Bamba, Selena, Stand and Deliver. I had those 3
Yeah.
that
Okay.
I will watch.
Well, then let's do
Regardless.
this. How many genres did you put down?
I started with my top, and then I was like, man, I can't do that because I need genres. So I have heist movies, which we talked about.
Okay, but
and then
how
I have
many
Hispanic
genres?
character movies. I only started with 3 in sports movies.
Well, the one that he has the biggest list on is under rom-com.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I love those. No,
Well, rom-coms, they're
no,
actually
it's not.
pretty good.
So
It depends on the rom-com.
when I started doing my list, the first one that came to mind was Training Day. If Training Day is on, I will watch it. I have seen that movie 40 times. I've seen the director's cut. I have seen the regular cut. I've seen the one at the movies. I've seen everything from that movie. Why? I don't know. I just love that movie. I love the car. Denzel's awesome.
I've seen it 1.5 times.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't. I
Get out.
really, I really
No,
like
really.
the movie. I think the reason I can't go past it, if I'm being a little introspective, right, is that it just seems maybe too close to potential reality for me.
And that's why I like it.
I think maybe this requires a little bit of a brief explanation, right? Most of my research that I've done in my degrees along the way, the entertainment that I liked before was much more broad. But for my master's degree, I did a lot of research on serial homicide.
Okay.
I mean, with like real cases and things like that, right? So all my research is in that. My PhD that I'm working on now is in violent homicide. A lot of them involve drugs,
Right.
murder, rape, like all of that stuff. And I think since I started getting into the real case stuff in order to just keep my life a little more compartmentalized, it no longer is a part of my entertainment. So I don't watch things that are too dramatic.
Once again, we're trying to keep it light here, and DLH is really killing my buzz.
So here's what's really funny is every time the Academy Awards come up, right?
Yeah.
And they start talking about all these movies that get all the buzz, and I'm like, I bet you that movie's great. Never gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I really do think that they're probably great, but I'm not gonna watch them because
I think
it's always
Denzel,
the dramatic ones that get
he won an Oscar for this one,
He did.
and I thought like he's done so many movies where he should have gotten an Oscar for those.
Yeah.
And it was great that he got it, but for this one, it just seemed to me like, man, he deserved it for Philadelphia or Hurricane or just all these other movies that he was awesome. He's one of the best actors of our time.
Absolutely.
And you're going to give it to him for this one? I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. I will rewatch this movie over and over and over.
Well, there was some controversy around that. Why now? Why now did he win that?
Well, the whole Oscar so white kind of,
Yes.
all that stuff.
But
so
a lot of Denzel's movies, I have seen all the ones that are really serious because I really like him as an actor.
he's great.
So I've seen all of his things, but all the ones that are like the movies you just named that are more serious and dramatic.
Yeah.
I've seen those.
Malcolm X,
one
all
or
those
two
movies.
times. But
Training Day to me is it covers a lot of things, right? Interpersonal dynamics, like we talked about team dynamics and that type of stuff. What he does with Jake to kind of force him to go a certain way. The scene with manipulating. Like that to me, when I watched the director's cut, there was a lot of stuff that they did that I don't think most fans, because I didn't catch it. They said when they're driving in a car, most of the time they're in the car, and they go under a bridge and it gets dark. And so he says, this is where Denzel becomes really dark Denzel. And then Jake has a moment in time to make a decision. And then when they get past the bridge and it's light, he said, we did this because of, this is the light coming through. He made a decision, that type of stuff, which I was like, okay, I missed all that.
Yeah.
Like, I love movies and I watch movies all the time, but I watched the director's cut for them to tell me more. Mm-hmm. And when they told me that, I was like, man, cinematographers and directors, they do so much that a lot of us take for granted that we just subconsciously, I guess, see it. But I missed that. But
so I've seen a lot of, and even Fences, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of great Denzel movies. The ones that are more serious and realistic, I've seen once. But the ones more recently, right?
Terrible.
This is just how I do.
Yeah.
This is more me than Denzel, right? But the ones that I have watched multiple times now are The Equalizer.
yeah,
Right?
I've seen those.
Because those are less realistic to me. They're more action based. They're more things that are they're just not really based in reality for me.
Yeah.
And they're more entertainment for me. That's the kind of thing that I would watch is something like that. Even like Man on Fire.
Man on Fire,
He's struggling a lot in that one, but it doesn't seem realistic to me.
Do you remember the one where Ice-T was in it? It was like early 90s.
Yes.
Ice-T was his brother, I believe. And there's a spirit going from person to person. That movie was kind of cool. Now, I only saw it a couple of times. I think I went to the movies to watch it because at the time.
Was it Bone or something Bone?
No, that's the one with Julia Roberts.
No, with Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie. There you go. Yeah, no, Pelican Brief was Julia Roberts. But anyway, I'm gonna go on because we're off topic now. We're on Denzel talk. Denzel's awesome, and we'll welcome him on the show anytime.
Yes, let's do that.
So so to me, when we were talking about this, Training Day was at the top. I can quote most of Training Day. When I used to play Madden a lot, I'd be sitting there talking smack. I was like, man, I'm surgical with this Jake. It's like, so, and then the people that got it. I guess this is my second one because.
No, that was your second one. First one was Tombstone.
No, we were eliminating the ones that you said.
Oh, okay. So that was your first.
Okay.
Well, come on.
So Goodfellas. Goodfellas, to me, if it's on, I'm watching it. I love that movie. I can sit and talk about that movie. I can do a whole podcast. I can call my little brother and we will talk about that movie for hours at a time. Everything about that movie is awesome. The characters.
Except that they killed Joe Pesci. I mean,
that's great too.
He wouldn't have been able to go on and do the super.
Yeah. And then the fact that, in 99 they did Sopranos, which they took a lot of the characters from Goodfellas and it just kind of shuffled them over to Sopranos, and I love Sopranos. So
yeah,
you have, I don't know, like maybe 9 characters or 9 actors from Goodfellas show up in Sopranos.
Yeah, except for Ray Liotta, which is surprising.
Well, he's making too much money, dog. He ain't got time for
I
that.
don't think he was at the time. Anyway,
He needed more money. So anyway, Goodfellas is greatness, and that's on my. I will stop down and watch it. So my third one, and these are movies. When I was thinking about this, it's movies that are actually always on. I can go downstairs and this is one of these movies is on. The other one's A Few Good Men.
oh yeah, that was a good one.
Sometimes I'll come home and I'll go to YouTube and I said, "A Few Good Men," and I'll watch that courtroom scene 30 times. It's like.
So you'll watch, what's his name, Tom Cruise there, but not.
We'll be back after a quick break.
If you're in the greater San Antonio area, we have an event for you this October. The Omega Delta Phi San Antonio Alumni Association will be hosting its 12th annual Halloween-themed Fall Festival. It will be held at the Boys and Girls Club located at 615 Peacock Avenue near the historic Woodlawn Lake. This is a free, family-friendly event filled with games, prizes, music, a costume contest, food, and a haunted house. If you need more information, go to our website at odphisanantonio.org and then click on Fright Night.
Top Gun.
Yeah, because it's not a rom-com. This is this is a good movie.
You watching them in Mission Impossible?
I did. The first one, I thought it was really good. And then I think I watched the second one. And after that, I was like, okay, there's too many. I'm good.
I don't know which ones I've watched. They're okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So in A Few Good Men is greatness. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just another trivia. A Few Good Men, one of the beginning scenes. Those are Aggies that are doing the with the rifles. Just to let you know.
Pretty unfortunate.
Just to let you know. Here's another one. I have a list that's infinite, but
Yeah, but you're 3 in. You got 2 more.
I got 2 more. So let me pick. All right, we'll go down here to time travel movies.
Really? You segmented it like that?
Back to the Future, all 3 of them. I will watch it. I think I forced my kids to watch it when they got kind of old enough to understand that type of movie. And it's a good movie. It's not all that graphic or there's nothing really.
Yeah, there's no gore. There's no profanity. There's no. It
gets a little rapey in the first one, the second one.
Oh, with the mom.
Yeah, with the mom and Biff. Like you don't remember that scene?
Yeah, but that's not.
It's
It was being a little forceful, sir.
Yes,
because
of his.
That's about the only scene that I'm like, let me explain this scene.
His harassment.
Don't ever do that.
Yeah. Okay.
No means no.
Yeah.
But the whole series, I mean, it is. I love it, and some people don't like the third one. I'm all for it.
Really, I like the third one.
Yes.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, it has ZZ Top in it. The guys that look like
it's got a time traveling train.
Yeah, it has.
Who doesn't like a time traveling train?
Oh my God, it's that whole series is awesome. The Johnny Be Good. This is your cousin Marvin.
Yeah.
Chuck. Him playing guitar. I mean, he's shredding it. Like, and part of that, I love that Marvel movies kind of like, when they were doing Endgame, when they're going back in time. Sorry if you haven't seen it, but it's been out a while now.
It's too
I'm
long.
not. Yeah,
there's no spoiler here.
there's. They say, that happened in Back to the Future. It's like Hot Tub Time Machine. All these other movies that handle time heist. So that to me is on that. on that I'll rewatch it. So that's 4, right?
Not like the Time Bandits or nothing like that.
No. So I'm at 4. So the 5th one of the movies that are always on, I would have to say, you don't really see the Matrix on. I'll stick with Fast and the Furious because that's always on.
Yeah.
TNT plays the hell out of that, and I will watch it. The first one, I'll rewatch it just because that to me was, it wasn't as crazy. I know one of the last ones, we've gone as a family, and then so I'm giving some spoilers here, and I was saying, hey guys, let's go watch it. Movie's about to start. Let's all get in the car. We're about to see them out in outer space, and my wife was like, that's funny. Outer space is so dumb, and then we get in and They do go outer space, and then my wife kind of looks at me like,
I told you. Though.
Yeah, she goes. I thought you were kidding. And I was like, no, I don't kid about movies.
Are we serious right now?
Yeah, she goes, this is stupid. Yeah. I can't believe you watched.
You know what? When it comes to that whole series, I haven't seen any of them since Paul Walker died.
There's only been are you talking about
3 since then?
I know, but are you talking about the one with The Rock where they split off and it was a Fast and the Furious universe type movie?
The one at the very end, he died. His brothers finished filming it.
Yeah,
and then he and Dom.
So I think there's been two
are alone on the highway,
actual,
and they go two different directions. Yeah,
2 actual Fast and the Furious, and then the one with The Rock and Jason Statham.
Oh yeah, that was an offshoot.
Yeah,
but I think there have been three total Fast and the Furious movies since then.
Really?
Yes, and I haven't seen any of those.
They're all right. They get kind of silly.
They're too far gone. We can say that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think that some of the series, even though they are good in the beginning, and even if they're good for a handful of movies, you can't take it too far.
Yeah.
Right. So, like for instance, I showed my kids the Rocky movies. Got them really excited about the Rocky
Rocky's
movies.
Awesome.
Right. Because
I
love the Rocky series. Those do come on. I showed them specifically 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then after that, I was like, 5 doesn't really matter all that much, right? 6 is even worse than that.
And then the Creed. Did you go to the Creed series?
You know what? This is again another hashtag unpopular opinion.
You don't like them?
I don't like the Creed series.
What? They're pretty good.
I saw the first one.
First one's really good.
But see, this is part of the unpopular opinion. I feel like Michael B. Jordan. I want to like him. I feel like he's an overactor.
Really?
Yeah, I just didn't like it.
I think he's a really good actor.
I didn't
like disagree,
it.
Sir.
I saw the first one, and I liked the storyline and the premise. But then even when I saw, what was it, the Black Panther?
Yes.
I didn't really.
He was great in that.
I didn't really feel his character.
What are you talking about? What is wrong with
you?
that?
I think they could have got
somebody
somebody
with
better.
Jaime on this because I thought he did a great job in all those
And,
movies.
know,
In fact, Black Panther's like the Marvel movie that I do like. Like that's one that I would stop and watch.
Well, I love
the others. I care for.
We have put Marvel movies.
Yes.
I like even if I don't
my
particularly like him, I will watch any Marvel movie over and over again. That's why we excluded it.
Yeah, Marvel, Star Wars, basically all the. I mean, I guess
Lord of the Rings kind of could.
You could say Lord of the Rings is excluded just because there's so many.
I would put it there, and I would watch them over and over. Yeah. It's just you need a.
I didn't really get into Lord of the Rings, but
oh man, I love Lord of the Rings.
I tried watching that first one about 3 times, fell asleep all 3 times, and I was like, I'm done.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm more into Lord of the Rings than I was.
They were on the damn snails for like the whole movie.
Books. I have all the books that are like leather bound. I was and actually when the kids still like me reading them nighttime stories. Yeah. I read them Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Letty read all the books. So when the first one came out back in Blockbuster days, like you would pay.
What is that?
So Blockbuster kids. So I paid, like. Put money. I paid for the movie, and then when it came out, you just went and picked it up. So we tried watching it, and I couldn't get through it, and then I just got disinterested, and then I was like, you know what, I'm done, and I have it. It's somewhere here, and I just never went back.
All right.
So we're back to. So yeah, those were my 5. I have a bunch of other ones, but I stuck to movies that I find are always on. But after that, yeah.
Then what I would say now is without judgment, right? You said you had 10.
Yeah, do the other 5.
Oh.
Just do the other 5
Okay.
and just list them.
Okay.
And then you're going to list yours?
And then I'll list mine.
Okay.
Stand By Me.
Okay.
City of God.
No.
We said no judgment.
Judgment.
That's a terrible movie, though.
No, that's an awesome movie. I did have Back to the Future. The Dark Knight.
Yes.
The Batman.
Yeah,
That's the one that I liked
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, in Marvel movies, I guess I should have said Marvel or DC because I can watch those all day. But yes.
Now did the Dark Knight? I mean, I know Batman in general is straight up
DC.
but
Yeah.
it wasn't under the same banner as they do the movies now, right? When they made
Well,
the Dark Knight, because it was like somebody saying, "Hey, can I borrow this?" And
It was Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Nolan did his own series of the 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was DC.
It is DC. It's a
still tied
DC
to-
character.
Okay. Well, I know Batman's tied specifically to that, but almost.
But-
I didn't think it was under the same like today's DC.
Yeah.
It's
It's a little
similar to
different,
Marvel,
yeah.
like its own
They
Disney
are, but
or
they-
whatever.
But
But
Christopher
instead of
Nolan
going-
did an excellent job of making it more real.
Yeah.
Like, and those 3 are awesome. I mean, those.
But instead of continuing on, they just keep on remaking with a different
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah, they did the Bat flick, Batman with Ben Affleck.
Yeah,
And then now
right.
they're what is it?
And
Robert
now
Pattinson.
it's Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are mine because the
Oh,
others
okay.
were stated. So
Okay.
So what's your list?
So mine, the rest of mine, I spoiled number 6. Number 6 for me, again, still cheating, is the Rocky series,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Number 7 for me, I have is the Mummy series.
Yeah. Okay.
the one with the Rock, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, that's where he got his acting start. Yes,
Yeah.
Is in the second one where he came out as a Scorpion King. But yes, those series.
Okay.
I like those. This next one might be a little controversial. The Fifth Element.
It's not a very good movie, but I have seen it multiple
It's not
times.
at all good.
It's terrible.
The Fifth Element.
The Fifth Element.
I don't think I've seen
It's
it.
Bruce
Yeah.
Willis and Mila Jovovich, right?
Or maybe I have seen it.
Yeah.
I just don't remember it.
And
It's not at all a good movie, but I love watching it over and over again. I will see it anytime it's on. I
and
don't
Smokey
even
is
care.
terrible in that movie.
Smokey is terrible.
Yeah, it's awful. And it's
yeah.
Bruce Willis. I
And
mean,
it's Bruce
it
Willis.
is Bruce Willis,
I
but
love
it's
everything
a
Bruce
terrible
Willis is in.
movie.
So anyway, it's a bad movie that I enjoy watching. Yeah, that would be it.
He gets annoying.
Okay, speaking of bad movies I enjoy watching, Necessary Roughness.
That's a good movie. I don't know if it's a bad movie, but it's a good movie.
No,
I'll watch
It's
it.
a bad movie, but I love watching it.
Yeah.
It's that one's fun. And then
Yeah.
the last one is it's a series, but it's the ones that are the Da Vinci Code.
Yes.
Oh, those are pretty good.
Yeah.
All,
Yeah,
all things.
those are good.
Dan Brown, yeah. Those are good. Anyway, that rounds out my 10.
Okay, so we're rapid fire now. So Troy, Braveheart, Gladiator, Pulp Fiction, The Matrix, Boys in the Hood, The Town, Heat, Ocean's 11, Back to the Future, La Bamba, Selena, Stand and Deliver, Remember the Titans, Major League, National Treasure, the series, and 300. Those are the ones I could come off with just off the top of my head. Now, Major League, the reason they came up is because I was at work yesterday and I call them the kids, right? They're young engineers, and they're from India, so they don't get American culture. Like some of these kids have seen the new movies, but they've never heard of Major League. Major League is an old movie. And so we were talking about winning streaks. And they said, well, isn't 2 a streak? I said, no. I said, you have to go to Major League to figure out. It goes, you win 1 game. If you win 2 games, that's 2 in a row. If you win 3 games, now that's a streak.
Yeah.
It has happened before.
yeah.
And I love that whole series. Is so good. And then you can go on if you want to do sports movies. There's so many sports movies that you could do. But yeah, that's
Wow, that
my
was a
rapid
bunch of
fire
good
list.
ones. I followed you all the way up into the town.
The Town?
And then you lost me for a couple.
The Town.
And then you went back to.
You don't like The Town?
No,
No,
he didn't
no,
say
no.
that. He said he
Up
didn't
until
get
the
to.
town.
Oh,
Yeah.
up
I
until
like
the town.
the
you
town
don't-
is a really good movie.
So you don't like Heat?
Did you say that after The Town?
I said The Town, Heat, Ocean's 11, Back to the Future, La Bamba, Selena.
Oh, damn. Then maybe all the way to Oceans, because La Bamba was already covered previously.
Yeah.
I guess that's why. Yeah. Selena, that was good, but it's too...
It's always on.
It's actual reality.
Yeah.
Which is why I
okay.
can't watch it.
Yeah.
But I do like the part where the two cholos and the lowrider coming over. Anything for Salinas.
Yeah, that's we had a contractor that was actually Salinas construction. And so anytime he called, it's like, hey, Salinas is on. Yeah. Anything for Salinas.
Oh man. That was a good list though.
A quick story with The Town. My little brother doesn't like Ben Affleck. He's like, he's terrible, he's a terrible actor. And I said, you need to watch The Town, because I watched it at the movies. I bought the movie, and I said, it's really good. It's a fake-ass Heat movie. And I said, no, watch it.
No, it's totally different.
Yeah, and so he watched it, and he's like, it's okay. And then later on, he starts quoting it. Then later, it's like, you love The Town.
You liked it.
Yeah.
You liked it. Right.
Yeah, it's such a good movie.
Because in Batman, I think he's good as Batman.
No, he's good.
In The Town, he's great. In Geely, whoa.
I did not even watch that movie. That
terrible
movie
movie.
looked like...
That's a terrible movie.
Watch terrible.
Like, don't ruin my childhood. Ben Affleck kind of...
Okay, so I don't think we're going to agree. Well, we did agree on some movies, right?
Yeah, we do agree on some movies.
So...
We agreed on a lot of movies, I think.
Yeah. So we need to come up with the... I'll post whatever ones we agreed on.
3. Let's
approve
board
the 3.
approve 3.
Well, shouldn't we just maybe more approve the process of
The existence of a stop-down movie?
yes, of a stop-down movie, and that you should have a ready set of at least 5 of those movies, especially because we're in such a short attention span era, right? Where social media and everything is always buzzing and calling at you or whatever, that you should have a set of movies where when it comes on, if nothing else, it prompts you to set everything aside and just focus on that downtime and watching something that's entertainment.
Yeah. So, these are movies like if you're building a shelf, you put them in the background and they don't care. You've seen it so many times. It doesn't matter.
If you had the ability anymore to put them on VHS, right? Keep them on
we kind of stayed away from Disney movies. I mean, kid movies, that type of stuff, just because. I mean, we both have kids. We watch so many kid movies, and a bunch of them are great. But these are movies you want to see.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll board approve the existence of movies that you will stop what you're doing and watch them. So, is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we should absolutely recommend everyone find your minimum top 5, if
find
not
your top
top
5.
10.
Yeah.
And use that as a way to stop you doing whatever else you're doing. And
there you go. Board approved.
Board approved.
David?
I can sign on with that. So you got my vote.
Okay, great. Well, we appreciate you sticking around this long. This is great. We'll see you next time, and then we'll have a whole nother topic, I guess.
Yeah, a whole other topic.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from us, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.